Good morning, dear children. Hope you all are good. Children, today also we will be continuing with the last chapter of our term 1 course, that is chapter 9, the basic geometrical concept. And today we will be doing the last topic of this chapter. And the last topic is circle. Okay? So circle, if you see, is a round, closed, plane figure. Children, plane figure means like this. It doesn't have any three dimensions or like this. So circle is a plane figure, and it is, you can say, it is also a curved. It is a round, curved, closed, plane circle on which all the points on the boundary are equidistant from a fixed point that is called center. So how you will define a circle? Circle is a round, closed, curved, plane figure which has got number of points on its boundary which are equidistant from the fixed point which we call as a center. Now if you look at the circle, it does not have any edges. It does not have any vertex. It is not a polygon. It is simply a curved surface, and it is not a polygon because it does not have any line segment. As you remember, polygons are entirely made up of line segment. So, I'll just read from the book. A circle is a simple curve and not a polygon. A circle is a closed, plane curve, all the points on which are at the same distance from the fixed point inside it. So that was the definition of the circle. Children, in this chapter, whatever the definitions are there, whatever are important, whatever has been underlined, I've explained you more, or whatever things have been given in points to remember, please learn them. Whatever there is in bold letters, please learn them. Okay? So as this is also in the bold letter, you have to learn. Now we will be doing the parts of a circle. Parts of a circle. Parts of a circle. Okay. Now the first part which we will take is the center. The first part which we will take is a center. So the fixed point, can you see this red dot? The fixed point inside the circle, from which from which all the points on the boundary of the circle are at equal distance is called as the center. I'll read. The fixed point inside the circle from which all the points on the circle are at equal distance is called as the center of the circle. Now see, suppose, now this is the center, and children, one thing more is that this center, as I have told you in geometry, every point has to be named. Okay? So this point also we will name. Normally you can use any alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, but normally what we do, we name it by O. That point in the center inside the circle is being named as O. I have named it as O. And the name of this will be called by name as circle O. Whatever alphabet you give to this point, the circle will be known by that point only, name only. Okay? Now if you see, suppose I take point B over here, and I join them. Okay? I'll join them. Then I'll take point, suppose I take point C. C. I take point C. This is point C, this is point B. I take another point, say any point I can make it. Suppose I take it F. Now if you see and if you measure it, what you will find, these are equal in length. These are equal in length. O is the center of the circle and is generally named as its center. We have circle O. That is the naming of it. Now comes Now this shows that if you measure them, they will be of equal length. Okay. Then the second point, the second part which we will discuss is radius. So radius is I'll read it from the book. The distance from any point on the circle, the distance from any point on the circle to its center is called as radius. This distance, the distance of any point, you take any point from the circle. Any point if you take, like this I have taken F, B, C, then I can even take, suppose an extra one I take like this. Any point on the circle, that distance to its center is called as radius. I'll again repeat. You have to learn this definition so you can underline. The distance from any point on the circle. On the circle means the blue line, the boundary of that circle, is to the center is called as the radius. And radius is always represented by r. This r. It is always represented by r. Then if you measure these OC, OB, OF, this OC will be, if you measure them, they will all be equal. All the radii is plural form of radius. So all these radii will be equals. OC will be equal to OB, will be equal to OF, will be equal to OX, like this. They will all be equal. Okay, so that was your second point, second part. Then we come on to the diameter. I'll just rub it so that it becomes clear to you. Okay. Now, see diameter. The line segment passing through the center of the circle connecting any 2 points on the circle is called as the diameter of the circle. Children, suppose I take point this D, okay, and this is point B. If I join this point B to point D passing through the center, remember children, passing through the center, then that line segment will be called as diameter. When you join 2 points present on the circle, any 2 points on the circle, but that line is passing through the center, then it will be called as diameter. That is your second, we have done radius. Third is your diameter. This was your radius. Okay, this was your radius. So, the line segment passing through the center of the circle connecting any 2 points on the circle is called the diameter. Okay, so this now, if suppose I am past this point, it is passing, suppose I take it XY. This is also passing through the center, so this will also be diameter. Any line passing through the center and connecting 2 points on the circle will be called as diameter. The important thing is that diameter always passes through the center. So here your diameter is BD and it can be XY because it is passing through the center. Okay, so now this was about the diameter. Now one thing more about the diameter is that, I'll just rub this so that it becomes clear to you. Any line which is passing, okay, through the center, it should be passing through the center. Okay. Now if you see, if I take only this part, OB, what was it? It was radius. Okay. If I take OD, it is also radius. That means this radius and this radius, that means diameter is, if you take the radius, 2 times radius will make the diameter. That is, diameter is equal to twice the radius. The formula for finding out diameter is diameter is equals to twice the radius. Whatever the radius, if you multiply, because see, this is radius and this is radius. 2 radiuses completely passing through the center makes it a diameter. Suppose I take radius, this part, as 10 centimeter, then your diameter will be 20 centimeters. 10 centimeters and 10 centimeter. So complete diameter will become your 20 centimeters. This radius is 10 centimeters. According to this is 10 centimeters. Diameter will become twice of the radius, that is 20 centimeters. This is how you calculate the diameter. Okay. Now comes the fourth part, that is the chord. Fourth part of the circle, and that is the chord. Sorry. Now again, this was your diameter, this is your center. Chord, any line segment joining 2 points on the circle is called as a chord. I am reading from the book which you have to learn. The line segment joining any 2 points on the circle is called the chord. Suppose I take this. Okay, I can take it over here. These 2 points. Okay, these 2 points, or I will take it like this. These 2 points, and definitely we have to name them. I take E and F and I join them. This line is joining 2 points on the circle, and this is your chord. Now see children, you will say, ma'am, diameter was also joining the 2 points on the circle, B and D. Here it is joining E and F. Then what is the difference? Children, the difference is that the chord it is not passing through the center. You can take as many chords as possible. And suppose I take like this. Okay, and I name it G and H. And I join them. It is also chord. But difference is that it is not passing through the center. That means the diameter will also be a chord. Diameter is also a chord. But since it is passing through a center, we have named it separately as a diameter. And because of that, diameter is said to be the longest chord of the circle. And all the chords will not be same in length. See, this is smaller and this chord is bigger. But this will be called because it is joining the 2 points on the circle. Is that clear? Please don't get confused between the chord and the diameter. Diameter will always pass through the center. Any line joining the 2 points on the circle but passing through the center will be called as diameter. Chord is another line segment which is joining 2 points but it is not passing through the center. If it passes through the center, then it will be called as a diameter. Is it clear, children? Hope this much is clear to everyone. So, diameter line segment joining any 2 points on a circle is called as the chord of the circle. The diameter of the circle is the longest chord of the circle. Then the fifth point is circumference. Circumference is the boundary of the circle, or you can say the distance around the circle is called as the circumference. So this is your circumference. this boundary, the entire distance around a circle. Now, hope this much is clear to you. Now, I can explain in this diagram, but to make it clear, I'll just rub the all other things. Now we come on to the sixth part. Circumference we have done till there. Now the sixth part is semicircle. Now children, in the previous circle we have seen that I have drawn one diameter over here. Diameter was the line joining 2 points on the circle passing through a center. Okay. So now here I have named it AB and this as O. So this is your diameter. If you see this, what you find that this diameter divides the circle into exact two halves. Diameter divides the circle in exactly two parts, two halves, and each half is called as semicircle. Each half is called as semicircle. This is one semicircle, this is another semicircle, and this diameter divides this entire circle into two equal parts, and each part is called as semicircle. So, I'll read it. The end points of the diameter, these are the end points of the diameter, and when you have joined, you have formed the diameter. You have joined it, yes, you have formed the diameter. The end points of the diameter divides the circle into two equal parts and are called as the semicircle. To name them, what we do, we just give C over here and we name it A, C, B. So your one semicircle is this. Suppose I take this, so the second semicircle will be your this. This is the first one, this is the second one. So two semicircles will be there in a circle which has been formed by your diameter. Now comes the seventh part, and that is arc. The part of a circle, it is actually, children, a very smooth curve. A very smooth curve on the boundary of the circle. So the part of the circle is called the arc of a circle, and it is also joining 2 points in very smooth curve. Suppose I take, okay, I'll rub this now. This is clear to you. Suppose I take this. A point, I say X, Y, and Z. Now if I join them, this is a smooth curve, and you are joining 2 points, X and Y, the two end points, X and Y. This is called as arc. The smooth curve formed by joining two end points on the circle is called as arc. So I am reading it. A part of a circle is called the arc of the circle. Now it is written as, now suppose this is X, Y, Z. This Y is, I have put extra to show you that it is the part, the curve, to show the curve I have put this Y extra. We can write down arc as X, Y, and it is written as like this. Okay, you can also write it this is not X, Y. The end points we write down, X, Z is your arc. You can also write it as X, Y, Z. This shows that it is an arc. Okay. Now this I'll read it from the book. Now before that, I just read it from a part AB. Now you can see in the figure 37 in the book, the part AB of the circle is an arc and is written AB. The chord of a circle divides it into two parts. Now again I take one chord over here. Chord, as you remember, chord is a line segment joining 2 points on the circle. If suppose I take it PQ. Okay. Now I'll rub this to make it clear. Chord, you always know, doesn't pass to the center. Now if you look at this, this is your arc and this is your chord. Now because of this chord, the circle has been divided into two parts, but they are not equal. Did you get it? Earlier when we have done semicircle, then what we have done, they were equal and they were divided by the diameter. They were divided by the diameter. But here this is chord and it has divided the circle into two parts. This one is smaller and this one is bigger. This type of it is called as the smaller one is called as the minor arc. The seventh part was your arc, no? Yes. And this will be called as your major arc. That is why that means the major and minor arc has been formed by the chord which is present between them. Since it is not in the center, it is not dividing into equal halves. If it would have been divided into equal halves, then it would have called me semicircle. But this is minor, smaller part, and this is the major one. So I am reading. A chord of a circle divides into two parts. The part of a circle which is less than a semicircle. Semicircle was almost like here. This was your diameter. So less than the semicircle, it is called as the minor arc. Whereas the part of the circle which is more than the semicircle is called as the major arc. I hope this is clear. Then the eighth part is your segment. The region enclosed by the arc and its corresponding chord is called the segment. Now suppose if I color this, or if I just want to show that this part has been enclosed by the minor arc and this is your chord. So it is written the region enclosed by an arc and its corresponding. This is arc. Here we take it arc like this. PQ we take it. Earlier I have just described it as XYZ. Now arc, as I have told you, is a smooth curve. So this is arc and this is chord. Whatever region has been enclosed by it, whatever region has been enclosed by this curve and arc, this is called as segment. Children, please be very careful. Earlier when this I have not shaded it, this shaded part is called as the segment, which is formed by this arc and the chord, corresponding chord. Earlier this is smooth curve was your arc, then I have shown you this chord which was dividing into minor arc and the major arc. Now out of this, if suppose it gets shaded, the part enclosed, not shaded, the part enclosed, if we consider the part enclosed, that will be called as segment. Okay, the segment which is formed by the minor arc of the circle. This was your minor arc. So the segment which is formed by the minor arc of the circle and the corresponding chord is called as the minor segment. Sorry, I write it where? Minor segment. Because this was the minor arc and this was the major arc. Okay. So, and the part which is enclosed, the segment which is formed, now if we consider this white part only, the segment which is formed by the major arc, this is the major arc. So the segment which is formed by the major arc of the circle and corresponding chord is said to be the major segment. Major segment. Clear? Hope this is clear to everyone. Now, okay. Now see here, The region enclosed by the arc and the two radii of the circle which join the end points of the arc is called as the sector. See here, suppose I take this. This is one radius. These are the radii. Okay, these are the two radii. And suppose I name them as A, B. Now you know that this was your arc, the smooth curve arc was there, joining the two end points A and B. This is the arc. Now if suppose this A point is being added or joined to this O center, similarly the B radius, OB radius, B point joins to this O. This is another second one radius. Now this whole part which is enclosed over here, this will be called as your sector. Again, because of this, it has been divided into two parts. This is the larger part, this is the smaller part. So this will be called as minor sector, and this large part, the white part, will be called as the major sector. So what is actually the sector? Actually the sector is the arc. I read it from the book. The region enclosed by the arc and the two radii of the circle which join the end points of the arc. The enclosed part, the region enclosed by the arc and the two radii which joins the end points of the arc is called as the sector. If it lies in the minor part, it will be called as minor sector. If it lies in the major segment, then it will be called as the major sector. Clear? So I am again reading it. The region enclosed by an arc and the two radii of the circle which join the end points of the arc is called as the sector. Similarly, the sector formed by the minor arc is called as the minor sector, and the sector formed by the major arc is called as the major sector. Major means bada, zyada. Minor means chota, kam. Okay. Then as we have seen all the other parts, the interior and the exterior, similarly in this also there are interior and the exteriors of the circle. Interior and the exterior of the circle. The circle divides all the points of the plane in three parts. The part of the plane, the first one, the part of the plane made by all those points that are enclosed by the circle is called the interior of the circle. All the points which are inside the circle will be called as the interior, as we have done in the other. Interior, it will be O, T, Q and S. O, T, Q and S is the interior. The part of the plane made by all those points that are not enclosed by the circle are called as exterior of the circle. Exterior. All those points which are outside the circle, like it is I, F, G and H. You can see over here, this is I, F, G and H. The part of the plane made by all the points that are on the circle are called as the boundary of the circle. So the boundary will be N, P, R, A, L. N we have already taken. So it will be L, N, R, A, L and P. Okay. Then the length of the boundary of the circle is also known as the circumference of the circle. This I have already told you. The interior and the boundary of the circle constitute the circular region. Now all the points which are inside the circle and on the boundary constitute the circular region. So we will write down circular region. It is O, T, Q, S, N, P, R, A and L. So all these points constitute the circular region. Then there is one thing, note, the diameter divides the circular region into two equal parts and each part is called the semicircular region. If I complete this is the diameter, it is divided into two halves. So this region will be called a semicircular region. One semicircular region is this and the other one is this. The last one, the concentric circles. Two or more circles with the same center are called concentric circles. If I draw circles like this with one like this, I have not drawn it properly, but just if look at it, if there is one center and there are number of circles around it, it will be called as concentric circle. So with this we finish our explanation of the chapter, and please go through the chapter, go through the definitions, learn them and try to understand it. Try to do as much as possible, and then in the next class, children, actually the 9.6 very simple, you can easily do it on your own. But still you find anything difficult, you can ask. I'll discuss in the next class. So till then, stay safe and take care.